Hello, I'm Jeff Tennant. Trading is closed on September 29th, 2014. Let's start out by reviewing my last prediction. I was looking for a drop which would fill this gap, undercut this low, and find support there, and that worked. Today, mejt gave an ultimate sell signal. There's a target of 1968.22. There's no specific time limit, but usually we don't have to wait very long. It also gave a buy signal in the afternoon. The target was hit immediately. The software said it was a false move. It required a retracement for this white dot lies. When we dropped, the software also said it wasn't for keeps and required a retracement back to the same price, basically. Well, the only prediction I'm going to make is that 1968.22 will most likely print, and probably sooner rather than later, not necessarily tomorrow. But I think there is a pattern we should watch out for tomorrow, which could give a very good trade in the afternoon. Let's review a few things. It's generally positive if we gap down low and rally all day. Usually it leads to further gains. It's not so positive when the close is under the early high. That would be negated if we were to have a gap over today's high. Ideally, such a gap would fill such a gap up would fill the unfilled gap created by today's open. If we were to gap under today's low instead, which I'm not predicting, I don't see anything that would stop a huge drop unless we're promptly reversed. But that's not what I think is going to happen. Assuming we gap up, fill that gap, we have a generally positive picture other than for the 1968.22 target. The reason is, after a strong move down last week and a number of new lows, we have failed to hold any of those lows. In fact, we've actually closed over all the highs of this consolidation. That would have to be maintained at tomorrow's open to have significance. It would be most interesting if we were to gap up, fill this gap, drop down, satisfy the 1968.22 mejt target. I'd be particularly suspicious of a reversal around 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The reason I'm suspicious that might happen is we have a stilt-like move down and a possible inverted diamond on stilts. Whenever I see a stilt and a consolidation with the middle of the diamond in the middle, I look for a stilt move coming up. It doesn't have to happen, but it happens a high percentage of the time. This part of the diamond took around 2 days, maybe a day and a half. So if we had a day and a half of consolidation, we could have a stilt-like move higher in the afternoon, targeting the origin of the left stilt. It's not forced, but it's something I'm going to be looking for. So we have a target of 1968.22, not necessarily tomorrow, but usually you don't have to wait long, with a potential trade if we gap up, fill the gap, drop to the mejt target, consolidate, and then in the afternoon have a stilt-like move up. It'll be pretty interesting to see if that happens. I think it's possible. It isn't a lock, and that's today's call.